friends, and welcome to another installment of WEPS The Beak. I'm Carter Schindler.
And I'm Caleb Miller. We've got a lot of great stories for you here today. There's a lot going on at EPS, and here's Carter with the first story.
At the beginning of the semester, Elgin Public Schools took on a new student teacher. Her name is Briley Weesey, and art is her game. Weesey's enjoying her time at EPS and seems to have some favorite parts.
Between the teachers, the students, it's just everyone's really friendly, and it's just everyone has a good attitude and is super positive.
Weesey said that originally she hadn't planned to be an art teacher.
I actually didn't want to be an art teacher. In middle school, I told myself that wasn't the road I was going down, but I wanted to be a basketball coach, and so my easiest outlet at first was art education.
Weesey has learned many things from being a student teacher.
It has made me more open to what's around me. I noticed things a lot easier, whether it's just the beauty of nature outside, but also how creative students can be and how their imaginations can take them to absolutely unknown places.
Art teacher Rita Heidoff enjoys having a student teacher.
It's been really nice. It's nice to see how someone does things a little different than what I've done, seeing little different techniques and things. A couple things I didn't know how to do that she showed me that was cool. Plus it's given me a lot of time to catch up on things I've wanted to get done but never had the time, so it's been a really positive experience, and I think the kids have enjoyed it too.
You don't have to be bulletproof to be a hero. Students at EPS found this out in January when Omega Man visited. The area schools gathered to hear the message from the Florida-based hero. The Hero Assembly helped teach kids not to be bullies and to help stick up for other people. According to guidance counselor Sonia Richard, the program provided a good message.
The Omega Man and Friends Assembly was a nonprofit organization that came up, and their goal is to spread the message of anti-bullying and preventative measures for that. So he had several points, and one of them was to be an upstander, to be a superhero to someone else who might be being bullied. And so to be an upstander means to not just stand by and watch someone being bullied.
Richard said the program also covered goals.
One of the things that they did was they had different types of things, like if you tell a lie, that might encourage you, if you get away with it, then to tell another lie and to not be deceitful to yourself, because once it becomes easy to do it once, it's even easier to do it down the road, and it becomes habitual. So he had that message as well. So those were the big premises of the presentation.
According to senior Miranda Palmer, the hero encouraged students to go for their dreams and never listen to bullies.
Yeah, he showed me a lot how no matter what anyone says to you, just keep believing in yourself and not believe what other people say.
Richard feels the students of EPS benefited from the program as it delivered some important messages.
All right, Caleb, why don't you tell us a little bit about the book club?
Well, that'd be my pleasure, Carter.
Elgin Public is now holding a book group for younger students. This idea was spearheaded by senior Lydia Bank. Bank says that her own book group experience inspired the club.
So how did the idea for this book group come about?
I'm involved with the team book group over at the Neely Public Library, and I've just had a lot of great experiences through that, and it's introduced me to a bunch of new books that I wouldn't necessarily read myself. And so I thought that'd be a great thing to get like junior high kids into, because a lot of them at that age group just read the same genre, and so I thought it'd be great for them to kind of disperse out a little bit with their like book horizons and kind of touch on some different genres that they wouldn't normally read.
So far, the group has read Call of the Wild by Jack London and Fish in a Tree by Linda Mulaney Hunt.
We just finished Fish in a Tree by Linda Mulaney Hunt, and the basis of the book is that the main character, Allie, suffers from dyslexia, and her actual teacher leaves because on pregnancy leave, and she gets a substitute teacher, and he's the first teacher who actually spends time with her and is actually trying to help her work through some of her problems. And so we thought it'd be a good book to discuss with the junior high kids, because not everyone's good at school, and so it was something that we could kind of talk with the junior high kids. And it's a lot like the book Wonder, where everyone has their own special characteristics in their own way, and so we got a lot of good discussions on it and stuff, and it was a really good book for them to read.
Although Lydia is leading the activity, as a student she needed a school staff member to sponsor the event. Junior high English teacher Mrs. Drucke gladly accepted the role. According to Drucke, Bank is handling the activity well.
She's done very well. She has a great rapport with kids of all ages, but she seems to understand that junior high kids, what it takes to handle them and to get them to speak during the book club, and she's been very encouraging and understanding with them.
These book group meetings take place once a month and are a great way to encourage reading.
And Lydia Bank would also like to give a big thank you to Mrs. Drucke and the Elgin Public Library for all of their support.
And here's Mary Nichols with a look inside of Senora Klein's Spanish room.
Spanish teacher Amy Klein loves to try to expand her students' knowledge of another culture. Many times, projects are a great way to do this, especially when they serve a particular purpose. Klein feels her projects have accomplished some specific objectives.
Well, first and foremost, I wanted to advance their proficiency in the language, get used to speaking it, be more comfortable, and work with it on projects that they were interested in. But also just to get them more involved with their classmates and see how far they've come in the language.
First year Spanish student Kira Widger has completed a number of different projects this year.
We have completed a poster titled All About Me, and it's just kind of learning a little more about us and how to say it in Spanish. And we are currently in the middle of a family tree project, and also in the middle of reading The House on Mango Street.
Junior Leslie Nichols feels that there are many benefits of completing these projects.
I say they all benefited me in some way or another because you just learn something new with each project that you do.
Junior Anna Hallacker believes that these projects help the students learn about the different cultures.
We learn about what people in Spain eat, and we also learned like how they view death. You know, they celebrate it instead of mourning it like we do.
Now let's see what's going on in the world of Wolfpack sports.
As winter sports season winds down, we are headed into the spring sports. Golf practice has recently started up. Second-year head coach Trent Ostransky is preparing for the season.
I'm looking forward to making it state. We got close last year, and I got the team to do it this year. So.
Ostransky says coaching has influenced him in many ways.
It just taught me what to do and how to be a better coach and how to be a better mentor to some of my players.
Ostransky says he wanted to coach golf because it's played a role in his life.
I grew up around golf. My dad was a golf coach. He basically taught me everything I know.
Senior Liam Heidoff has expectations of his own.
I just really like the sport of golf. I like to just go out there and go to meets and stuff.
Newcomer Ashton Evans is also excited about golf and believes the skill will benefit him down the road.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll do it to pass some free time when I'm older.
The change in the weather is also queuing up track practices. First-year assistant coach Trey Rossman has a few expectations of what the season should hold.
My expectations, well, we don't have that very many boys out, but the boys that we do have out, there's some potential and a lot of room for growth. But as far as girls go, we have a lot of girls out, and a lot of those girls, they're either returners, and they have a lot of potential, and I'm looking forward to getting started.
Rossman has some new methods to help prepare the athletes.
My methods include what we call them lactic days and conditioning days. And basically that's just getting their muscles prepared for competition.
Junior Allison Wemhoff looks to compete at state this season.
Hopefully we have a chance to qualify for state. Our 4x8 last year had a chance to qualify for the wild card if we didn't place first at districts, but we unfortunately fell short that meet because we didn't perform our best. But hopefully with this 4x8 this year we have a chance to make it to state and I don't know, hopefully do well.
And here's Oliver Kuhn with the story straight out of the business room.
Knowledge acquired through business classes like personal finance and economics is definitely beneficial to making educated decisions in finance. As a part of these classes, business teacher Eric Milner likes to include real-world simulations. Currently, Milner's economics class is participating in a stock market game.
And each team gets a fictitious $100,000, and then with that $100,000 they can invest that money in stocks, mutual funds, and bonds. Those are the main three investments. And then the goal obviously is to make money. It's a competition not only amongst your classmates but also teams in the region.
Milner first learned about the game while he was a student. He has had students play them since his first year of teaching.
Because I did the stock market game when I was in college, so I personally experienced it, I'd say 10 plus years ago.
According to Milner, trading in the game is not too different from trading in real life.
Overall, executing the trades and all that, that's pretty realistic. And doing the research, that's all realistic, just like real life. The big difference is just when it's fake money, if you're down $5,000, yeah, it's not the greatest, but it's not that big of a deal because it's not your money. In real life, if you lose $5,000, that's when you can really panic. And if you let your emotions take over you, you might make some further bad decisions.
In order to win, students have to make educated decisions on what to buy.
With personal finance, we had units over stocks and bonds and mutual funds. So just how to research those investments, what they are, those type of things, that really helps give a foundation on how to do some research. And then economics, learning how the economy works, interest rates, all those type of things can give you a big macro picture of the economy, which obviously plays into the decisions too.
Senior Shelby Doman has managed to rank fairly high out of all the Nebraska teams.
So the stock market game has been an interesting experience for both me and my partner, Mary Nichols. We began by Googling best stocks of 2018. We wasted all of our money in the first day and ended up being the first of Nebraska.
And now here's Mateo Kirstein with more news from the art room.
Many times students let go of their passion simply to create because they believe there's no economic future for them. However, Omaha's Creative Center came to Elgin on February 13th to tell art students that's not the case. Art teacher Rita Heidoff wholeheartedly approves of their message.
I think it lets them see the different opportunities out there. Lots of times kids think you can either be a fine artist or an art teacher, and they don't realize how many art-related careers are out there.
Heidoff is glad that her students are now aware of the potential career paths ahead.
There are so many art-related careers out there and that people don't think about. I mean, landscape artist, t-shirt designer, construction, carpenters use it all the time, florists, and photographers. Those are all things we have locally.
While it may not seem necessary to some, Heidoff knows that an art degree can go a long way.
It's not always required, but it helps a lot. I think anymore it's pretty rare if you can get a good job without some type of college degree.
The Creative Center is not limited in its choice of media as well, ranging from computer animating to painting. Junior Akira Witcher enjoyed a variety of the demonstration, and by extension, the college.
And so we got to see some of the students' artwork, and rather than just looking at a bunch of artwork, he connected it to a lot of logos we see today, and you get to connect it to the real world a little more.
I've been to the Creative Center presentation a few times.
Have you? I've never made it myself, but it sounds like their programs really center around creativity.
I'm Carter Schindler.
And I'm Caleb Miller.
And that's all for today's broadcast of WEPS The Beak.
And remember to catch us on Twitter and check out our newsletter.
See you next time.
On WEPS The Beak. On air, in print, and in the know.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Actually. Can you do interview segments of just Caleb sitting on people's laps?
Yeah, you're right.
That would be really funny, Caleb.
He would turn around and be like, "So what do you think of this issue?"
That'd be really
It's recording.
Oh, okay.
You're supposed to say something, Oliver.
I've had a lot of fun through that, and I just thought that it would be. I just.
Put it as its thumbnail.
Shut up, Oliver!
Everybody was quiet.
But I hear they've got a new student teacher over there.
Yeah, we do. She's been, she's a pretty good teacher. She's been teaching us a whole lot of art stuff. Let's redo that. I didn't.
Oh, it's rolling. That stud.
Me.
Oh, you heard me complimenting myself, Mateo. Why would you? And here's Oliver Kuhn with the story straight out of the business room. So Carter, I know you were over at the Omega Man presentation filming. What was it about? Oh wait, we just did a story on it.
we just did a story on it. So I mean, if you were listening, I've been to the Creative Center presentation a few times.
Have you? I've never personally made it. What's it all about, Carter?
It said in the story before if you listen.
Oh crap. And Lydia Bank would like to give a
shout out.
My dudes.
Yo.
And now here's Mateo Kirsten.
Kirstein, right?
Kirstein.
There he is. Kirstein.
You put me in front of the camera.
Kirsten.
Okay, so just hit the record button and then we'll...
I'm Carter Schindler.
And I'm Caleb Miller.
And that's all for today's broadcast of WEPS The Beak.
And
I don't have your...
catch us on Twitter.
I don't have your stuff.
And here's Oliver Kuhn with a story straight out of the business room. Oh, were we actually doing the jacket thing?
We just finished Fish in a Tree, and the basics of the book are that the kid has dyslexic and I can't talk.
And according to Dean Pop... Let's try that again.
Huh, that's interesting. What are you doing?
Okay. Ready,
Don't take
Tom?
me.
Would your 98?
Sure.
A Gmail. Quit creeping on people.
Yo, what's up?
Hurry up, write down all the...
Stiff face. Hey, yo man, don't touch my camera. Freedom of speech.